Today, risotto alla Milanese. What makes this risotto Milanese? We're actually, of course, the rice and the onions and the stock makes the risotto, but the saffron and the bone marrow makes it really Milanese. So the bone marrow is the first thing that you kind of dissolve, and that becomes also part of the fat. These are the bones that you can buy, just like this. This is the marrow that you're looking for, and you just want to pull it out just like that. The bones are great for stock. You can save, you can freeze them. You see, just pops up like that. So let's chop it just a little bit. It will all disintegrate. Let's put it right in the pan. Just a drizzle of the oil to get it going. And the marrow will disintegrate and leave like little cracklings that will stay in the risotto. They're actually very good. The other ingredient is saffron. What is saffron? Saffron is actually the stamen of a crocus flower. And it originated in the East, the Middle East. Then it traveled through Spain, and then through Spain into Europe. In Italy, to reconstitute it, you need to reconstitute it, and you don't need a lot of it. Take some of the hot stock and just let the saffron reconstitute, release its colors, its aroma in the stock, and then we'll add it on to the risotto. So here we have the cracklings of the bone marrow. Let's add the onions, and let the onions wilt. Just a little bit of salt. Now, to make a good risotto, it's all about the technique. The ratio is that 1 cup of uncooked rice will yield 2 cups of risotto. It will take approximately 3 cups of hot liquid to get there, and about 16 to 18 minutes, it is done. At this point, I want to toast the rice. I'm going to coat it with the fat right here, and I'm going to toast it. I need to add some flavor and acidity. And the wine does that. We'll wait for the wine to evaporate completely, and then we'll bring in the process of adding the stock. Now, that's a chemical process. You say, well, you know it's going to take 3 cups of liquid for 1 cup of rice. Why don't you just put it in and be done with it? It doesn't work that way. Because if you don't add the hot stock slowly at intervals, the starch in the rice doesn't come out. The rice opens up. So here you want to slowly coax that starch out of the kernel and make the risotto nice and creamy while leaving the kernel of rice whole, al dente, and suspended in this creamy mixture. So I'm looking at this. The wine has dissipated. I think we can begin to add some stock, just enough stock to cover the rice. I'm going to put some salt now, and always kind of undersalt because we're going to add cheese, and leave the adjusting of saltiness or pepperiness at the end. About halfway through, you put in the saffron. And you let it slowly, you let it off its flavor and hue. Now, I love it when you ask me questions. On Ask Lydia, on my social media, I look at them, I read them, and here from Cynthia Pasquinelli from Pennsylvania, I can't find arborio rice. Can I make it with any other rice? No, no, no. A good risotto requires the right rice. Arborio, Carnaroli, Vialone Nano. If you cannot buy it online, you can order it. They'll send it to you, and you will get a good risotto. Now that you know my technique, you will be a hit. The risotto seems to be at the right spot, and let's give it a last whirl here. We'll close the fire, and the last step is mantecare. So we have some butter, the best butter you can get. So let's cut some pieces. 1, 2. Some cheese. And this is the mantecare process. You can see it's nice and creamy.
Masterclass Risotto Basics.
For risotto, there are no substitutes for the right rice. The liquid to rice ratio is key. It's all about building the flavor base. Toast the rice, add the wine, heat the stock. And remember, risotto takes patience and a little muscle. Now, did we do a good job? And I know you always tell me, Lydia, you're making us so hungry. You know what that means? That you have to make your own risotto, and I hope you do. Okay, so in a warm plate, mound it. Do not spread it out in a wide plate because it's gonna get cold. For that matter, even pasta. You want it in a mound so it stays nice and warm. Grating some cheese on top of it, just like that. And now, let's do the tasting. Molto buono, molto buono. The underlying saffron and the marrow is really elegant, but evident. I need to get this to the table right away because the risotto waits for nobody.